Hi everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, it's like super rainy, cozy weather right now. So I'm just like feeling extra cozy today. It's one of those days that you just want to be inside, and especially in LA. Oh my God, everything is so flooded. It's crazy. Anyway, today I want to be talking to you guys about the spiritual reason that we overeat and how to overcome it, how to heal that in yourself and how to take control over that, right? Because what I've seen from most, diets or most like traditional ways to monitor how much we eat, it's about portion control or counting your calories or, you know, eating as much as you could fit in your fist, these like kind of random things. And if it was that simple, I think that there would be a lot less people that were struggling with their weight or with overeating or with binging. And ultimately, there's a much deeper reason for this. So that's what I want to explore with you guys today. If you guys are watching, please say hello. If you're watching the replay, you can put hashtag replay in the comments and I'll dive right in. And actually, before I completely dive in, I do want to mention that my program Radiance is now open. The doors are open. We start January 1st. It's a 3-month program. And I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. So look forward to that because I already have some amazing women signed up and in. It's like the tribe is coming together. It's going to be really amazing. So the spiritual reason that we overeat. Let me tell you guys a story. A couple months ago, maybe close to a year ago, I did my first fast that was not based on losing weight or on trying to cleanse or any of those things, right? It was all about getting in deeper in touch with my body and with my intuition. And that was really the focus of the fast. It was a 1-day fast, just a water fast. And it was very, very interesting what I uncovered. And I want to share with you what I started to realize during that time. And most of you, if you've been watching my stuff for a while or following me, you know that I come from a past of disordered eating and binging and body dysmorphia, self-loathing, the whole deal. So for me, most of the time, if I did a fast or a juice cleanse or any kind of cleanse, it was because I was either punishing myself for having had a binge or overeating, or it was my attempt at dropping weight really quick, doing something extreme so that I could, fit into a certain outfit or look good in a bathing suit for that weekend, one of those kinds of things. So this was the first time that I did anything that was completely spiritually based, right? So I just want to preface that by saying that this isn't necessarily like for everyone. I'm not recommending that you go and do a fast, especially if you have that kind of a mindset. It takes a while for us to shift that in order to do this from a healthy foundation and intention, rather than doing it to try to control our bodies. I feel like this is another video completely that I could make on this, which if you guys want to know more about that, how to have a healthy fast, a truly spiritual based fast, rather than it being about changing your body, let me know. I can make another video about that. So anyway, during this fast, something that I realized, I would make sure to be very conscious and aware every time that I felt hunger, right? And so I would say it out loud. Sage, my partner, was doing it with me, and we would just like announce, I'm thinking about food or I'm feeling hungry, right? We would just kind of announce it so that we could be aware of it and conscious of it. And so when I would announce that and recognize, okay, I'm feeling like I'm hungry, I want food. Hi, Alex. Okay, yeah, awesome. I'll definitely do that. So I would check in with myself and say, what do I really want? What am I really hungry for? It would take like a couple of moments to just like close my eyes, sit with my hand on my heart and one on my belly, and tune in and just be like, what do I really need? What is my body really telling me? Because I know like we can go a day, a couple days, longer without food, right? We don't need it in the way that we are eating it, right? I know that for the most part, we eat way more than we need to. And some of that is just, society's kind of like breakfast, lunch, and dinner standards that they've given us. Again, like we could go way deep into that. But, well, it's important to recognize, right, that we, for the most part, are following these other people's standards and guidelines that are set for the average person, right? Or the majority, or to profit or to benefit somebody else. And it's really taking us out of tune with our bodies. So we're like, well, it's lunchtime, I better eat, it's lunchtime. And meanwhile, we're in our heads and we're just saying like, it's time to eat, so I'm going to eat, rather than really asking your body if it's hungry or not, right? So that's definitely a big part of it for sure. But what I really noticed in that day that I fasted and was using it as a tool to get really in tune with my body and what it was telling me, if there was anything that I was ignoring. One of the things that I noticed when I felt hunger and I asked my body what was really going on was the answer I kept getting over and over and over and over and over again was that I didn't feel like I was enough and I just wanted to feel whole, right? And this for me was like a huge breakthrough, like this huge realization that I had. And, I knew that this was one of my like basic wounds that I had felt for, who knows how long, probably most of my life, was that I wasn't enough. But to have this realization tie together of not only feeling like I'm not enough and having to prove myself or validate myself, but literally filling myself with food just to feel the sensation of being whole. And it was like kind of like one of those like mind-blowing moments where you're like, oh my God, that's what it is. And I know that so many of us, we suffer from this feeling of not being enough, of not being whole, as if we have to search for something else to make us whole, as if we have to validate ourselves or prove that we're enough. And this is like this conditioning that so many of us, especially women, I mean, I'm sure men too, but my tribe, my people, we're women, right? We're women who have been, kind of set up against these standards that have made us to feel like we aren't enough and like we aren't whole and that we need something else. You need the newest, clothing trend. You need the newest makeup. You need the newest hairstyle. You need the newest whatever, body type. Even as that changes, you should change too, right? And it's like this constant reminder of this lie that we're not enough, that we need something outside of ourselves to be enough, to be okay. And this is a huge root of why we overeat and why we look to food, to this thing that gives us this feeling that makes us feel whole, even just for a moment, even if we know that later on it will make us feel sick or worse about our bodies, right? We'll fill ourselves to that point of being so full just so we can feel the sensation of being whole and the sensation of being not just enough, but more than enough, and having enough, right? So, what I've discovered, there's many reasons that we overeat, but that is one of the big ones, and one that I think that most women, most people probably can really relate to and resonate with. And so my invitation to you is to recognize, and this is what I started to do after this. I created excuse me, I created a mantra for myself that reminded me of my worth and of my wholeness and of my enoughness. And I said this mantra to myself every time I would eat. right before I would eat, I would say, I love myself. I'm enough just as I am. I am perfect. I am divine. Whatever one really called to me. And so maybe there's a mantra that you can tap into. If you start to really just tune in, I think the first practice is to tune in as you feel hunger or as you sit down to eat, and asking yourself, okay, I might be about to eat this meal, but what am I truly hungry for? Am I eating this or continuing to eat this past hunger? Am I filling myself just to feel that sensation of being full, of being enough, of being whole? And can I, without trying to control this or be very rigid and change the habit and stop myself from this feeling, can I just gently remind myself through a mantra like, I am enough just as I am, and use that as I'm eating, just to gently start to shift my perspective, right? And so another reason that let me check on these comments really quick. Alex says, wow, that is so deep. I have realized that often in emotional eating states, I have eaten too much because I lack the trust that I would be filled or that I deserve to be filled by other things. Also, so much of wanting to fill the void and that I would be whole if I was full. Yeah, it's so deep. It's so, so, so deep. And those are some other reasons that we definitely overeat, is to, it's if we have that kind of like scarcity mindset. I think I did a video on this. I don't know if it's on my YouTube or on Facebook, but about how scarcity mindset and actually money and food are tied together in that. If we don't feel like we trust ourselves and the universe to be able to provide for us, then we go into that overeating pattern as well. So that's definitely another reason that it could happen, for sure. And that void, right? That discomfort, that void that we feel, that we would rather just numb and stop feeling rather than dive into it and see why it's there, what it's about, or just, be in that state of openness, right? And so if you think about it, like, we're always expanding. And if we're just constantly trying to fill that expansion, then we're missing out on that opportunity of letting miracles come in, right? So this goes into like a whole other topic. So again, I'll make like 400 more videos, don't worry. But what I really wanted to say is this whole idea of not being whole, right? And how this is such an important thing for us to rewire, especially as women, is to recognize our wholeness, recognize our enoughness, recognize our divinity. And what I've realized, a big part of that is us embracing all parts of ourself. So not shunning or pushing away those shadow sides of ourself, or those parts of us that we might feel shame around, that we might feel fear or guilt around, right? It's about loving all those parts of ourselves and coming to terms with them, coming to peace with them, making friends with them, and really owning who we truly are, not wearing a mask and trying to be something or somebody other than who we are. And I think that once we get to that point of being able to be who we are 100% and not hide, not feel like we're lacking in any way, not feel like we're too much, right? When we find that state of clarity and of really just owning our divinity, owning who we are, this is like peace. This is peace. This is where we can not only have that peace and that freedom, but we can move forward and start really sharing that with the world. And so what I wanted to mention to you is my program Radiance that starts in January. It's a 3-month program. So it's not some little dip your toe in. This is like for the woman who's ready to go all in and to find this clarity and this peace with her body, right? Because once we really find that peace with our bodies and we're able to kind of overcome this constant struggle of dieting or losing weight or overeating or hating our bodies, picking ourselves apart. Imagine if you could just overcome all of that, right? How much would that open up for you? What would that make available in your life? Imagine how you would show up differently. Imagine how many people you could impact, right? So this program is really for the woman who knows that she has a sole purpose for being here, and she's ready to pursue that. But her relationship with her body and with her weight and with herself has been something that's been a distraction. It's been an excuse. It's been slowing her down from really pushing forward. And I don't mean pushing in like a masculine way, but really driving her power forward into the world and showing up in the way that she knows that she's capable of, impacting the people that she's here to impact, building her tribe, shining her light, living her most empowered, radiant life. And so this is for the woman who's ready to do that and to let go of all those excuses. So it's a 3-month program. And like I said, we're going to uncover the root of your relationship with your body and with food. We're going to create so much space and clarity and healing around that, and see how it's impacted not just your body, your physical body and how you look, but how it's impacted your life, how it's taking away from you showing up fully in the world. And then we're going to go deep into those dark, shadowy parts of us and learn how to embrace the darkness so that we can shine the brightest, so we can feel and know that we are whole and know that we are enough, and then show up in this world as the most powerful, radiant version of ourselves. So I'm so excited about this. Like I said, I already have a great group of women who are forming, and it's going to be such a beautiful, intense 3 months. We start January 1st. It's the first 3 months of the year. So it's, I love starting stuff in the beginning of the year. I think it's so fun. So if that's something that seems so exciting to you, reach out to me, send me a message. Like I said, the doors are open now to sign up, and early bird is only going to last for a couple more days. I don't remember what day I put it till. So definitely send me a message if that's something that's interesting to you. And not just interesting, if that's like calling your soul, right? If that is like tugging at your heart. I want the women who are in this to be all in, to feel like I made this program directly for you, because I know I made this for a very specific woman. So if that's you, I'm calling you in, babe. All right? All right, babes. I hope you love this video. Let me know. I mentioned a couple of things in here as far as other videos. So if there's anything any topics that you guys are interested in hearing more about, let me know. And, I'm happy to make videos about them for you. Okay? Have a beautiful day, everyone.